All right, Miles, let's talk about one of our favorite teams to cover. That is the Kansas City Chiefs heading into the Sunday with a huge matchup. It's really too early in the year to call it a must win, but it would be a big opportunity for the Kansas City Chiefs to make a powerful statement. And the good news is for Chiefs fans is there's some positive news coming out of Chiefsdom. A lot of good stuff to talk about there, Miles. I know you've got the specifics, but before we hand it off to you, Miles, Kansas City Chiefs fans, we want to hear from you in the comment section below. Which guy has really jumped out at you through the first 3 weeks of the season? Who's really made a big impact, whether it's on offense, defense, or special teams? Let us know in the comment section below who you've been most impressed by. But Miles, give us the latest out of Kansas City.
Yeah, Nick. So the biggest thing in this tough loss to the Colts last week for the Chiefs, and the biggest thing that has been all season after the loss of superstar kicker Harrison Butker, has been that of special teams miscues, mainly kicking. There was a muff punt as well, but kicking has been a bear. When you have such a consistent and strong kicker like Butker, you really don't cherish what you have until they're gone. And it has been very obvious that the Chiefs have been struggling in the kicking department. Matt Amendola came in as the backup to Butker after he went down, and he has been very inconsistent at best. Week 2, he missed a kick. Then he missed a kick and an extra point in this game versus Colts. If he would have made that field goal, they would have won the game. If he could have made 2 easy kicks, they would have won the game. But nonetheless, they didn't make the kicks. But here's the good news. Harrison Butker is back at practice. He's been practicing, and all sources say that he is making every effort to go this weekend. So he is, barring any major setback, he is ready to play this weekend. And as a Chiefs fan, you have to feel a little bit better about your chances that your Pro Bowl level kicker is back in the game. This is so big for the Chiefs, Nick, because I think this is the one thing they were missing last week against a Colts team you should have beat. You can't miss an extra point. You can't miss a field goal like that. These are two clutch things, and Butker would have made both of those. What do you think, Nick?
So, Miles, I've got a really good stat that tells you a lot about the Kansas City Chiefs. So, their salary cap, 51% of the Chiefs' salary cap is tied up in 5 players. What does that mean if you have a really top-heavy roster? You have to draft well. You have to play a lot of young guys, which the Chiefs do, and they draft pretty well. They've gotten a lot of great prospects the last few years, and even this year, you got some guys making some great impacts, a lot of rookies, a lot of young guys doing real good so far in the season. But the problem when you have a lot of young guys is they're very volatile. They'll have up and down games. They're inconsistent. So you have to rely on special teams play to come and win you those close games when things don't go your way. For example, when things go their way, they crush Arizona in the desert, right? You and I talked about that at the time, 44-21. When things really aren't going your way and some of these young guys aren't stepping up, you're in a close dogfight against the Indianapolis Colts. When that happens, you need quality special teams to kind of make up the difference. That's where teams like the Patriots for 2 decades were so tough. Whether they had Adam Vinatieri, Steven Gostkowski, they got Slater as a special teams guy. Even when things didn't go the way with the Patriots, they always played good special teams. They made them harder to beat. Your Ravens do that very well as well. They play really good special teams. Justin Tucker is obviously a beast. When you have a good special teams, or at least a reliable special teams, when things don't go your way, you can kind of make up the ground. And the Chiefs, the way their roster is structured, they rely on a lot of young guys, and young guys have, there's inconsistencies with that. That's why it's huge to have Butker back, because not only is he a quality player, he's consistent and reliable, right? He's not Justin Tucker, but he's in that kind of next tier of kickers who have the leg to make the big kicks, but are also consistent and accurate and won't pull points off the board, because that's what unfortunately happened to the Chiefs against the Colts. They had 4 points that they pretty much banked on that were essentially pulled off the board because of issues in the kicking game. That won't be an issue going forward now that Butker's healthy.
Yeah, Nick. So when you got a guy like Butker, basically you can, and I say this about Tucker all the time, 60, 65 and in, I'm like 100% confident he's going to make it. Okay. But Butker, like 50, 55 and in, you're pretty confident when he goes out there, he's going to make kicks like that. 55 is probably pushing past the range where obviously he can make those kicks, but it's not guaranteed anymore. But he's been really consistent on everything in between there. And when you have a guy like him, like you said, when you're a new team and you're struggling offensively, one aspect of the game has to step up. Now, with the Chiefs defense, it's getting there. It's getting better. The last couple years, it's grown and grown, but there's a lot of turnover this past year. Obviously, Tyrann Mathieu's not there anymore. Got a couple rookies, as we said. So the defense, you can't rely on them necessarily. Like you said, there's too many young guys out there. It's too volatile, too many new players. So you lean back on your special teams. And when a guy gets hurt, like Butker, like you said, it's so tough when you can't make the kicks that you need to make. That first week they had their safety Eric Reed out there kicking extra points. And he was 1-1. He missed one, he made one. So it's nice that you have a guy that can do that, but you don't want your what if the safety gets hit off of a straight kick? You don't want to have that. You need to have the guy out there, and Butker is too valuable to this team. So I'm happy he's back. I'm happy going forward that the Chiefs will be able to pull out the tough wins with quality special teams play, because this is a good team, and I think when they mesh, it's like a Tampa Bay Tom Brady like team where when all of these pieces start to work together, because there are so many new pieces on this team, that it's going to be something special to watch near the end of the season. And to lose silly games at the beginning of the season it's a shame. So I'm glad Butker is back to stop the bleeding for stuff like that.